Hi, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about why conflict in the relationship can lead to growth. And this is something that I help moms with all the time in their marriages because we can understand how conflict with our children leads to our growth, but we often don't understand how conflict with our husband can lead to our growth. So, welcome. I'm Beth Rowles. I'm a relationship coach for driven moms who want to use their relationship as a feedback loop to grow in self awareness and begin to create more of the relationships they want without leaving the one they're in. So, when I think about conflict leading to growth, I need to go back in time a little bit for two reasons. Number one is when I used to have conflict in my relationships, whether that was with coworkers or friends or whatever, most often I would end up just letting the relationship go and thinking, well, I was right. They obviously were wrong. If they don't want to change their wrongness, then okay, they can go. And I kind of viewed a lot of relationships as disposable in that way. Like, I don't really need them. They want something from me, but I've given them everything. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what they want. So I guess they don't want to be my friend anymore, um, which is not a good way to be. We don't want to go through life that way. We need and want human connection and want to be able to use these relationships to grow from. So the reason why I always thought that there was nothing to do is because from my perspective, I'd look at it logically and think, no, I did everything right. I don't know what they want from me. I did all the right things. And what I was missing was empathy and understanding that their perspective was different from mine. So whether I was right or wrong or did the right things or the wrong things, I was failing to even understand the perspective that they were trying to share with me. I didn't look at life that way. Sorry. I looked at life more logically and analytically. I was a problem solver. I was an engineer. I studied, okay, what was the right thing to do in that situation? Okay, I did the right thing. What's the big deal? So now I approach this totally differently. And let me tell you why you can use a relationship to grow, and why that's not an unusual kind of thing. So, as an engineer for a large cell phone company, I started off in engineering in something called the drive test team. I wanted my foot in the door. I didn't have like a military background, but I loved the aspect of helping customers have good service. It was way more exciting to me than just selling them a phone. If they came in with a problem, I really wanted to be able to solve it. I mean, no surprise, problem solving is one of my favorite things. So, as a drive tester, I would go through the our network, drive through our network with all these phones and different equipment and take lots of measurements. And then I'd get home, plot them all on a map or look at the raw data or create, different graphs and stuff and review the network data and then make recommendations to the design team to make things better. Or specifically, if I had a dropped call or if we had a customer complaint, I'd go drive an area, get all the data, and I see, oh my God, here's what's happening. Because we can design the network and set the parameters, do everything the right way, but then it gets out there in the real world and people use their phones differently, have different phones, have different trees around their house. There's hills and valleys and all kinds of things that get in the way of the actual signal strength. There are things in the way of the connection. So, this is the perfect metaphor for why reviewing yourself through what your relationships are showing you helps you improve because we got data about our network. We took a look at ourselves, an honest look at ourselves, found the problems, and got better. Your relationship helps you do this when there's conflict with another person. That's how you look at yourself and find ways to do better. So, one of the things that I needed to do was be a better listener and actually have empathy and understand what they were experiencing and not judge the situation or look at it from this logical perspective of, well, everything, I don't know. I could look at it from their perspective and understand what was preventing our connection. What were the things, the blocks in the way of our signal strength, of creating that strong connection so we can move forward together? And then I've learned how to help them feel heard and understood. And I couldn't do that until I could do it myself. And if you watch my last video, I talk about that more. But um, this ability to reflect based on where you're having conflicts with other people is exactly how you grow in self awareness, how you improve, how you learn new skills, how you discover the things that you don't even know that you should heal from your past. So, when we look at our conflicts in our relationship, we're looking at what are the patterns that keep reoccurring. So, one for me was people telling me that I was like on my high horse or condescending or arrogant. So obviously, of course, you can see that was because I had no empathy for them. I just looked at the situation from this logical perspective and felt that I was right. And that was it. That's where I was projecting this condescending tone because I couldn't look at what they were experiencing and really listen to them to understand the need beneath their complaint. Because the logic and the facts of the situation don't help you understand the human need on the other end. So maybe they were struggling in something, and the problem they presented to me was nothing about the need that they actually had. And I needed to look deeper to see what was really bothering them and how I could really support them. This came up often when I became a supervisor of the drive testers, and they were just, they were needing more from me than I was giving. And I was thinking, just do the thing and you'll be just fine. So, conflict leads to growth because it's an opportunity to recognize a pattern, to understand why it's reoccurring. And then it also helps us improve our skills. Our listening, empathy, emotional regulation is a huge one. Being able to understand why we get angry and what that actually means, and what we need to do to not express that onto the other, to use it as information, but not use it to like punch other people and like literally or figuratively. We really want to be able to use that energy without hurting others with it. Sadness, even how to properly let that flow, but without expressing it onto others. It points us back to what we need to heal, those things from our past that we haven't looked at, issues with our parents or with school. It also helps us to understand what beliefs we want to let go of. Your parents in school gave you their set of beliefs, and often they don't serve you. For example, if you have the belief from your parent that you aren't smart enough or aren't good enough, that's not serving you anymore. You are just perpetuating that thought. So that gives you an opportunity then to examine that thought and choose a new one that serves you more in life. To look at all those things from church or school about who you should be and who your husband should be, and let those expectations go and learn how to just accept yourself for who you are and accept your husband for who he is, and your kids and your friends and your coworkers and everybody. Let's see. It can also alert us to where we've handed over our power and are responsible for our own happiness, where we are thinking that other people have a responsibility to make us happy instead of us making ourselves happy. And then also, it can be the trigger that gets us to finally release repressed emotions. So, if you have some issue that comes up and you feel really, really sad, or there's some low-lying discomfort, if you can sit with it, there's probably an old emotion that you stuffed down just to get through the moment when you were younger. And we need to actually feel those and let them out of our body because they make us ill. So that's how conflict leads to growth. You probably need some help with this, especially in the beginning, to see what the patterns and thoughts and emotions are that are seeking to be reflected upon and either let go of or changed. So I invite you to go to my website, Beth Rowles, ROWLES.com, or Happily Ever After Coach, if that's easier to remember. Book a free call with me and let's have a chat about your relationship and how you can start moving forward together. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Mwah. See you next time.